start this. This is going to be actually our diamond matchup, and spawning in the bottom left of Yonsu. It is for Team Extraterrestrials in blue, Terran player Sonic Boom. And his opponent, spawning in the top right, is actually a substitute for, I believe it is iRush people. It's going to be Guns N' Roses' Dev Junk. Dev Junk is another player I remember being around for a very long time. So it's nice to see. It's nice to see names that I do remember, as his probe does a nice little mineral stacking dance over there. He's doing a very nice job of getting probes. I'm making sure that I switched overlays as I did. He's doing a nice job getting probes stacked on these close mineral patches. I think it's. I've been trying to do this for a long time now, of doing this every single game. It's very frustrating sometimes, given how probes are, or probe workers in general are just stupid. I feel like probes especially have a lot of issues of actually doing this correctly. You would think, being, artificial intelligent beings, they'd be able to handle doing what you want them to do, but it seems to be not the case. Sonic Boom is actually going to be scouting immediately on with his first building SCV. He's still going to go for a barracks first, though. Almost would expect to, given that he did go off with that first SCV, to see like a CC first or something, but looks like DevJunk is playing relatively standard, going for that 13 gate, actually a 14 gas. Actually, that may have been a 12 gate, now that I look at it more closely. So that'll be, I'm curious what's going to happen here. I haven't seen a lot of super early gate play, especially against Terran, well, in a very long time. Actually, Sonic has already walled off his main base with an unfinished depot here and the barracks. So putting up a lot of minerals into a wall prior to really seeing anything. I mean, he has seen that the gas is finished and the gateway was just about complete. And no chrono has really been being used by DevJunk. So curious if this is going to be just a good old-fashioned 4-gate coming up here. This probe is going to be picking away and being annoying at this SCV and the supply depot here. But a Marine will get out and push it away soon. An engineering blade block is going down at Dev's natural, but I don't really think he's going to be going for a natural anytime soon. He's on a ton of chrono, and this SCV is actually going to come back in here, and he's going to actually, that engineering bay finished, didn't it? Oh well, doesn't need those minerals anyway, right? Except for the fact that he needs those minerals, especially once this chrono happens. Oh, is he going to wait to chrono until this SCV is gone? Because that'll take forever. Actually, a second gas coming down. What the hell is this going to be? I am confused now. Chrono going down on this Zealot, actually. Not anything else just yet. I guess he was going to try to expand quickly. He wants to kill this off, but with this much chrono right now, I was expecting to see some gateway play, or gateway pressure at the very least. But I guess DevJunk is just playing a little bit sloppy at the moment, which these things happen. I know in games that matter, I play my absolute worst, and in ladder games that don't matter at all, I play like a goddamn god. So, oh well. He's actually almost at full chrono, and we are 5 minutes into this game. He's going to go double forge before any expansion even happens. DevJunk, you cray. He's going to want to be, maybe he's going for like some sort of +1 or +2 timing. Like just a 1-1 timing bust or something like that with Archons. I don't know. I'm not hip to the Protoss cheese, so I don't really know what's going to happen. I have heard of this 2-2 Archon charge lot timing that has been just destroying people's lives, but actually he canceled one of the forges, so still really no telling what's going on. He has expanded, but his expansion is quite late, given that engineering bay was there blocking for a very long time. And Sonic's second command center is already finished. Mothership Core is moving across the map, just going to go check out what's going on. I feel like Sonic Boom saw that somehow, or just you kind of expect it at this point in PvT. You expect to see the Mothership Core coming in, and I think he knows that. DevJunk is still going to get in here. He's going to get a nice little scout, but he's kind of putting his Mothership Core in a bad spot, and if these Marines react, there's a good chance this core is actually just going to go down. And yes, this core, there's no way this core is getting away, right? Right, there's no way. Oh my lord, if it gets away. Nope, that was really close. So close, but at that point, I would almost rather lose the damn thing. There's a lot of energy to lose off of it, but oh well, you lost it. Stim on the way for Sonic Boom here, and he's already taken a slight lead, slight advantage in most aspects. He has the second CC finished already, so his worker count is increasing. Not to mention the fact that he has the double meals, and since there is no mothership core just yet, he's pushing across the map with a handful of Marines here. That's more than a handful, because a handful is only 5, and unless you have really strange friggin' hands, your hand is not 11. There's 2 Stalkers and a Zealot here, but this many Marines can take them out with some decent micro. The Zealot is already dead. Actually, he's keen to just pick off all those probes, and going for the core again. Core actually gets away that time. But this Nexus, there's not really much DevJunk can do against this Nexus. Core is going to be poking down again. If he just turns around and pokes at it once, it'll die. Well, he lost, what was that, 11 Marines for 5 workers and a Zealot. So it's a bit of a sloppy trade there by Sonic. But, oh well. And Dev is actually going into +1 ground weapons. He already has +1 armor finished. Super fast, given that forge was super fast as well. Adding on a second forge, so he's going to want to go to +1/+2 as soon as the second forge finishes, and going straight into the Templar Archives. So again, I think I would expect to see some Charge Lot Archon play very heavily, very quickly. And meanwhile, Stim is just about to finish here for our Terran player. Combat Shield is on the way as well, as he completely mislands his starport on that reactor. Something I do quite often. A third CC is on the way. He knows he's in a bit of a lead at the moment. 42 workers to 31 workers. Was it 23 army supply to 12 army supply right now? I mean, as Protoss, your army supply is generally always going to be lower for a while, but yes, this is going to be a Templar Archives. And still no charge research yet. Just +2 armor is on the way, with +1 ground weapons also on the way. So yeah, it's kind of interesting what DevJunk's going to do here. Spending his money as well as he possibly can. He is still very low on workers, given what happened early in the game. His second Nexus was quite late because of the engineering bay, and then he lost 5 workers to a Marine poke. So he's hurting a little bit, and this next push has a good chance of doing a lot of damage. That's a nice handful of bio with 2 medevacs. He did see it all coming, given this probe sitting on that watchtower here. But 1 Archon and some Zealots that don't have charge yet, +1 finish, so it is 1/1 Archon, but Combat Shield and Stim Marines, Stim Bio, and was there even? Yes, there was an overcharge on the Nexus. He is going to snipe the Nexus off, however, regardless, and that's just going to get him further in the lead. And he's just going to pick up and leave. He traded well there. That was a good enough trade for him. He's going to lose some units to a miss rally, but that's not a huge deal at this moment. He can boost out of there. He does, in fact, he's able to boost out and get away with his hurt medevac. Oh lord, this game went poorly for DevJunk from the very start. It seemed like he wanted to do something like obviously cheesy and just wasn't able to do it immediately. And from that point on, he was just in a bad way. These 2 medevacs are actually going to swing back in here. There's not much bio left in it, but they are going to sit here, and they're going to force a cancel on this unless all these units are able to get back home. +1 has finished for the Terran player. Can he actually get a cancel on this? I'm not sure. Only 1 Marauder. They do Stim again. 2 Marines. Nope, he's just going to get out of there. But that was actually a decent amount of hull damage. That's going to be on that Nexus when it does actually finish. It'll probably only be at around 600 health. So he's in a nice spot to come snipe that Nexus again, and with a third base up of his own, 61 workers to 45 workers, and still making 3 SCVs at a time, with 3 mules, up to 8 racks now, and a factory on the way. Oh, I guess he wants the option to actually make an armory. I guess he lost his factory in the middle of the map. Oh well for him. DevJunk, knowing that he's behind, taking a risk, going for a third base. He can't really defend it, but he's going to get it anyway. Warping in some more Templar, trying to get Storm, just trying to get anything AoE related so he can push back his opponent, but it's not really going to help. Sonic has seen that base has started. Actually, these 3 Stalkers are out of position, but they could snipe 2 medevacs very easily, but unable to do so. Wow. Bioforce just really didn't want to talk to that Marauder anymore. Actually, that may have been just a Marine. I think it was just a Marine. Oh well. Sonic gets DevJunk to cancel that third base. He's going to have to sit back in his natural and defend But again, this Nexus is only on 600 health. And both players actually taking down rocks. I just want to help each other out. DevJug just wants to get the death over with quickly. An overcharge is going to come down, I imagine, but it's not really going to matter. Still no storm. There's not really any AoE besides these 3 Archons, which could be focused down, but he's not focusing down just yet. Actually, most of this bio's going to get cleaned up, but it doesn't really matter. You know, most of that army did die, but there's a ton of army on the way. Streaming over, a nice river of blue coming away. I guess rivers are generally blue unless they're really disgusting rivers. But actually lifting off some of his units so they could get behind the probes that had surrounded them. Cute little play there. There's 1 cannon and another canceled Nexus. And 136 supply to 40 supply right now in favor of Sonic Boom. It looks like Sonic Boom is going to get the first map win for Extraterrestrials in this Best of 9 series. Unless something absolutely insane happens, maybe Sonic nukes himself 14 times and throws himself out of the game. DevChunk actually is going to leave the game. No GG, but who cares about GG when you are in Guns N' Roaches? I don't know. I just like to say words. I love Guns N' Roaches. I've got some pals in there still. So, with that, Extraterrestrials wins their first map. Does make it 3-1 in this Best of 9 series. We'll be back with our next match, which is going to be a silver match between Capio Corpus and Neru.